In this introductory video to Griffin, we'll show you how easy it is to create a job and export final nested results for printing and cutting in just a few minutes. So first thing we want to do is start a new job. I'm going to click New here. That'll bring up a new job window. Once we've done that, we now want to import our artwork files. So I'll hit the plus button here and I can go select the files I want. I'm going to do these display items. So I'll bring each of those in. So now that they're in the job, the first thing I want to do is we can see that the shape source is trim box right now. So actually, in order to nest these, we want to get the true shape. So I'm going to select all three items by doing shift click here. And now I'm going to do a batch edit. I'm going to go hit the edit button here and drag the cut layer in here for mapping. And I want to map this to the kiss cut tool type in Griffin. And the rest of these parameters I'm happy with, so I'm going to say OK on that. And now OK on the dialog. Now you can see each item is changed. It has kiss cut, and we can see the shape source is cut, the cut layer from the PDF. If I go double click here, I can take a closer look and I can see that we actually have the true shape of the item now. So now I'm going to go back, and the next thing I want to do is specify the quantity in each item. I can see that they've defaulted to 1 for each one, and I want to change that to get the output that I need. So first off, the quantity of this one, I'm going to specify that as 9. This one I will specify as 3, and this one I'm going to specify as 30. So at this point, I've specified all the production settings I need, and I'm now ready to go nest this job. So I'm going to click on the nesting button here. That's going to pull up my nesting dialog. The first thing I want to do is select the substrate, and I'm going to nest this onto PVC, and then my board size, which there's only one registered here, so this is the board I'm going to use. And the margins and the nesting settings here, I'm happy with this, so I'm just going to click Start on this, and now that's going to start nesting. And as it goes, you'll see layouts popping up here, and you'll also see a graph showing the items that are placed and the amount of waste. The waste is in orange here, and in blue we see the amount placed. So currently we've placed about half the items, and it's going to keep going until we've fully placed all of the items, all of the quantities that we specified. Once it's done and it's found layouts that have filled up the space as best as it can, it'll automatically close the dialog and we'll have our completed layouts. So I can see here I have each of my completed layouts now, which will be ready for output as soon as I finish them up by putting in some marks. So let's go back to the view here. I'm just going to select both layouts and I'm going to add my camera registration marks. Those will go into each layout. I can see here, if I go now here, I can see that I have my registration marks in there. And maybe I'll just add in a code 128 barcode as well. So go put in a code 128 barcode, and that will go up to the top left. So that looks good. Inside that, I'll just say job test 1. You can go take a look at that barcode, make sure everything is as we expect. There it is. Maybe I don't like the position of it, so I'm just going to move it over a bit like this. And at this point, now I have all the marks in my job, everything's nested, I'm ready to output. So I can go, first I'm going to save the job so that I can reopen it later in case I need to make changes. I'll call this job 1, save that. And now I can go export for printing. And in this option I can export as a single file, or I can export each layout as individual files. In this case I'll just say do one single file for this, and that's my job 1 for printing. And now I'm going to do for cutting as well, and I just want to specify my tool type mappings. So I'm going to remove these ones, that's not what I want. I'm going to add a tool type mapping first for kiss cut, and I will just specify this as a color. How about I'll just set some color here that I like. I'll call this kiss cut. And now I'll do one more for, actually I don't have any other line types, tool types in here, so kiss cut is good. So I'll just go OK on that. And now I'm going to get, say this is for cutting. And I can go take a look at my output. Here's my output for printing. I can see that once it pops up here that I've got everything imposed. I've got my marks, I've got my barcode. So that's good for printing. And if I go look here on my cutting file, I'll see I've got my cut paths specified and my camera marks in there as well. So that's it. In just a few minutes, we were able to take input, nest it up, put in marks, and output for printing and cutting.